Hello, sorry. Sorry. Okay. So, alright, it's been a minute. I have a very good reason why I took 2 more weeks to record a new episode of this. Hopefully, you'll know why. I'll get into details about that. But, um, first off, I have been messing around with some features. As you can see, I added a little waveform to make things a little bit more interesting. I'm still not quite as dexterous as starting the stream. And also, I should sound a lot better now. I've been dealing with a lot, but I've been fucking with my mic for a lot. I did listen back to my old episode and it was very quiet. That's because I was speaking into it the wrong way. So hopefully it's properly oriented. Messed with the knobs on it, so it should sound a little bit more listenable by now. But yeah, so I'll get into what I've been up to. This will be a lot shorter of an episode because people were complaining about how long the last one was, but that's because I talked about like almost 60 movies, and I'm only gonna talk about a few, and I'll talk about sort of what I've been doing, what I've been up to. So hopefully this should not be 2 hours. And I do not have a lot of space in my computer, so I don't think I can really even get to that long. But uh, so let's begin. So one thing I want to start doing is what the fuck? Okay, sorry. Something popped up on my computer. It scared the shit out of me. One thing I'm gonna start doing is I'm just gonna go on off topic towards the beginning, and to go with my off topic thoughts is an image of the day. So here's the first image of the day. There's the first image of the day. Okay, so what I would so the reason why I missed the past couple weeks is because I have finally started shooting a project. I've been developing it since like 2016, I want to say, but I've been actively working on pre-production for this project since January of 2021. So I've finally started shooting, and I had a deadline to meet. Sorry, because I spent both days last weekend shooting, and I spent yesterday shooting as well, and I believe I got everything I wanted to get done there. So what I was doing was I was shooting all the interior scenes at a specific location, which is a house that is soon to be emptied and flipped. So I had a limited amount of time to get everything I wanted done. The first weekend when I brought everything, I forgot to bring the splitter for my V mount battery that's on my camera rig. So it not just powers the camera but also the monitor on top. So I couldn't use my monitor the first 2 days. So I literally had to put a mirror behind my camera in order to see what I'm doing. And I'm doing a lot of puppetry, so it's pretty fucking important to see what I'm doing. I'm not acting. I'm below this thing, and I'm manipulating it. So that was a pain in the ass to do. But looking back at the footage, I mean, there's a lot of it needs to be cleaned up. It's Even though I shot at the right ISO, it's very very grainy, but I can fix that. And there's some issues with focus, but I can fix that as well a little bit. But even with all that, it still turned out pretty decent. All the footage I got the first time, and yesterday there were some shots I wasn't happy with, so I did some more takes, and they look pretty good. The focus is a lot better, the exposure is better, so I'm pretty satisfied with what I was able to get done. Um, but it was a fucking nightmare. It was. I ran into a lot of bullshit. I was the last Saturday. I was working on it, shooting nonstop from 3:30 in the afternoon till 5 in the morning, and I don't know. I just had a ton of energy, and which is great. I loved that I had I was able to lock in for that long. But I kind of wish I had that more energy more often. But I mean, when I was because I was trying to get scenes done with limited amount of daylight. It gets dark. It's winter. It gets dark pretty early, around 5. So I had a limited amount of time to get these shots done. And so I'm running into issues with my camera, and I'm having to deal with Chat GPT to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And like, oh my god. So I needed to last weekend. I had to update my firmware on my camera because it has not been updated since I bought it 5 years ago. So I couldn't. So when I was having to look at a take, I had to scroll through basically the entirety of my card to get to the last take. So it took a fucking minute to scroll through everything to see my take, which was a pain in the ass. So I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and I kept talking to Chat GPT, and every single fucking time it told me to do something, I said, that's not working, and it goes, "You're right. It was never like that. You were never ever supposed to do that." And I know that complaining about AI is like everyone fucking does it, and people are very annoying and performative about it, but holy shit. And like I don't really I'm pretty ambivalent towards AI. I think I don't really see a reason getting angry at it, but like it just made me think, and even just like without AI, it just made me think about how fucking unusable the internet is. Now, like I think if you just want to use the internet as a normal person would, I'm not talking about like going on DeviantArt and looking at bowling ball knee fetish art just to like look at to look for information and to solve a problem. You have to have some kind of prerequisite mental illness now to even fucking use it as a normal person, because it's just everyone is so fucking unhelpful. Either even if they're not AI, if you go on Reddit, everyone on there is like the most unhelpful monkey ever shat out of a vagina, and you cannot ask them a question without them spitting their own cum in your face. And it's like I don't know how anyone can function doing anything with this. I just cannot believe at how easy like this innovation, this massive milestone in the development of humanity has been undone within like 20 years because of these fucking idiots. It's insane. I don't understand. And it's all ad. It's like so 55% of the internet is ads, and 45% of it is the most like retarded bullshit you've ever seen. And it's like pulling teeth to figure out anything with it. I don't know. It's like just like that experience like made me never want to use it again, because it was just like I don't know. I was like desperately trying to figure something out for like an hour while I'm losing daylight, and I have a limited amount of time to get this shit done, and it's just like I don't know how anyone can stomach using this fucking thing anymore. But besides that, I mean, I still have a ton to do on this project. The good news is that to shoot the rest of it, I have to wait till the spring, when everything comes back to life for all the exteriors. So I got some time to get some more done beforehand. I was trying to relax a little bit today, but I couldn't. Um, this past week, let's see, I've been working on an animatic for a sequence. I've been working on. I need to buy the studio version of DaVinci. I've been putting that off. I need to do that so I can start working on the post production on what I shot so far. 2 of my lights burned out, so I need to get new bulbs for them. And the big thing is that the glove I was using for this character ripped, so I need to repair that. I've been working on that today, and I've also been working on some side projects. Like I've been trying to 3D print a prototype for something today, and it keeps fucking it up. So I'm gonna need to do more calibration on my printer this following week, and I'm testing out something else. I bought some equipment to do something to help out with mold making. I'll talk more about that later, but I'm still doing a shit ton of stuff. So I was considering not even recording an episode because it's just like I'm fucking tired after the past 2 weeks. But you gotta keep at it, even though these are bullshit and no one listens to them. I gotta start somewhere, and I gotta start, you know, start doing something and build up. Maybe I'll have an audience. Who fucking knows? Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the movies I was able to squeeze in between all of that that's been going on these past weeks. So let me get started. All right. So the very first film I saw in 2026 was Empire of Passion by Nagisa Oshima. And this was a film that's been in my watch list for several years, and I finally got to it. And I'm glad I did. I liked it. It's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Oshima. Um, his stuff is like just below great for me usually. But I really this might be one of my favorites by him. I was not expecting how straight up horror adjacent it is. Like it's basically a ghost story, and I was expecting it to be more erotic, like in the realm of the senses. But yeah, why is it not working? Oh, there we go. Okay. Also, I'm gonna play around with showing stills from the movie because I don't know. I find it annoying when people talk about a movie and there's no visual reference for it. So I'll just pull up some stills. Hopefully, there's nothing too spicy that will get me fucking banned or demonetized. I don't care about monetization. But I really like the look of this movie. It has like there's that nice earthy look that reminds me a lot of Masahiro Shinoda, his stuff. But this movie reminded me it was a combination between Kwaidan. It's definitely not as stylized. Like this moment right here definitely reminded me a lot. Yeah, this still reminds me a lot of fucking Kwaidan. Remind me of that, and also the 1985 remake of Ballad of Narayama by Shohei Imamura. But it's pretty. I don't know, it's a solid ghost story, and yeah, if you like movies, watch this. Sorry, okay. What else? I watched this documentary by Michael Blackwood. I've seen one other documentary he's done. He did a documentary on Buto, which, if you don't know, is a style of Japanese interpretive dance that was developed in the I want to say 60s. It was alright, but I much more enjoyed this one on Louis Kahn, and he has a whole series on different architects. I've been just really interested in architecture lately, so I just ate this up. I was really interested in. This was made posthumously, so there is archival footage, a lot of archival footage of himself and the construction process of his buildings, but it's mostly other architects. And I gotta say, I really hope that one day after I'm dead, I have this many people glaze me this hard. I just thought that was amusing how how much smoke they blew up his ass. Not in a bad way, but yeah, I think his work is pretty gorgeous, even though I'm much more into like more traditional forms of architecture, like most people. But in terms of modernism, oh, for fuck's sake, sorry. Oh. Yeah, okay. Like what was this? The Pennsylvania University Library. I believe this is what this is. Oh, I really next time I go to Texas, I really want to visit the Kimball Art Museum, which he designed. I really love the interiors, but he also did a lot of work in India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Mainly the former during the latter when they were getting their independence. He designed like their parliamentary building. That's what not this. See, I'm experimenting with format, and this is what happens. So, but what was it? This is the not Pakistani, Bangladeshi parliamentary building. I think this is what he's most known for, but his philosophy in regards to how he uses like daylighting and natural lighting inside these structures, I find to be very interesting. The footage I thought was really nice to look at. So if you have that strain of autism to be interested in architecture. Definitely check this out. But he has a ton of Blackwood has a ton more documentaries on like what's that Japanese guy's name? But he has a whole like series dedicated to architects, which I'll definitely check out. And they're all on Canopy too. If you're, I should show Canopy as a streaming service more. I think I talked about it last time in regards to Robert Gardner, but yeah, if you want a free, convenient resource on documentaries, definitely check out Canopy. Um, I also watched Blood of the Condor. There's no stills for this because it's. I watched a VHS rip of it. I'm pretty sure. But it's very very low budget film from the '60s from Bolivia, directed by Jorge. I don't know if you say Jorge Sanjinez, and it's about the Quechua people of Bolivia, which is a native indigenous tribe that's mostly in Bolivia and Peru and the Andes, and it's contemporary, and it's about a village that's struggling with infertility, and they realize that the like local anthropologists, white anthropologists, are basically like sterilizing their women to control their population, and they have a gamer uprising. But and also like them, like one of them gets shot by police, so they go to the city, and they're struggling to find money to pay for his treatment. Um, yeah, it's definitely uh, it's yeah very very low budget, very political, made as a political statement, but I thought it was pretty engaging, and I really really enjoyed it. It's not as I prefer more of like in regards to like indigenous people as a topic. I'm much more interested in like their traditional way of life and documentaries. There's a really great documentary about this same people. I believe what's it called? Quechua something in the mountains. I don't know, but it came out. That's also on Canopy. But there's a great moment in that documentary where because they live like at the very top of the mountains. They live in the clouds, and the Peruvian government was sponsoring them to build a school to teach their children Spanish, and they build everything. All of their structures are built out of these big stone blocks, but for some reason, the government mandated that they build them out of mud, adobe. And they're like, well, we can't do that because it's very humid up here. It's gonna crumble. But they insisted. So there's this scene, this great scene where they're building this school out of adobe that they know is gonna fail and fall apart, but they just got to. And I just think because the government told them to. And that's a moment I think about very very often in day to day life. Um, so if you're interested, watch Blood of the Condor. I also watched recently, like I watched it yesterday, a film called A Dream Longer Than the Night by Nikki de Saint Fale, who I'm pretty sure I was already familiar with her. But there's no stills, even though this movie has been restored in 4K. I guess I can't fucking show you any stills from it, but this is the director. She's a multidisciplinary artist, and the movie looks like this. Like there's a lot of really great costumes and puppets and sets. There is an animated sequence that's in a similar style to her art, and if you're in, yeah, like this. So if you're interested, check that out. It's it's definitely very French and very 70s, but usually I can't stand that kind of shit. But it reminded me a little bit of Black Moon by Louise Mal. I don't know. I've never heard his name said out loud, but I felt that it was a lot more entertaining than that movie. That movie is really really fucking dull. Remind me of that. What else did it remind me of? It reminded me a bit of Freak Orlando by Ulrich Oettinger, and also I much prefer this movie to that. But and it's short too. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. So if you can find it, watch it. It is kind of like a for like the premise. It's not very story heavy. It's kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of parallel. So and there's like a crazy dragon costume in there that I can't fucking show you because no one bothered to fucking upload it to the internet. But yeah, watch that. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Okay. Now I'm gonna get to the real meat, what you're really here for. So for some fucking reason, I don't know why, I decided to revisit. Oh, that's not it. Ants. Ants. I have seen this movie. I remember I think I watched it like in the early aughts, probably at a daycare or something, and it freaked me out because all I remembered from that was the well fuck the Danny Glover ant. His head gets fucking ripped off, and that freaked me out as like a 6-year-old. And the other thing I remember was when like the ants are chasing him out of the hive, and there's a big magnifying glass, and one of them gets fucking Hiroshima'd. But rewatching this now, it is like I don't know. I know it was like a weird. I did read a little bit into the history of the making this because that's kind of there's a big controversy with its release in Bug's Life. Okay, unlike the last film I talked about, for some fucking reason, there's like 8K resolution, 35mm scans on IMDb. It looks fucking gorgeous. I don't know. I wish the torrent I watched looked like this. Like, hold on. Like, it's just like, look at this shot. This is gorgeous, and which is weird because the movie itself, I mean, the version I watched, it was like a Blu-ray rip, and it looked fucking hideous. But this looks actually kind of nice. Like, I don't know, it's a pretty classy black and white stills. It's his fucking, what's his name, Weaver. His fucking character design is fucking ridiculous. But it's, I mean, obviously when I first watched it, I didn't know who fucking Woody Allen was, and it's still, I know he like apparently he just did the voice as a favor to Katzenberg, I believe. But it's like, he really didn't. I guess I mean, the character is kind of neurotic, but really, there's not a whole lot of. I mean, then again, the only two Woody Allen movies I've seen are this and Manhattan. So I don't know. The only other frame of reference I have of Woody Allen is, well, should I date this 16-year-old or should I date Diane Keaton? And that's not really represented in this supposed children's film. But, man. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I had this whole bit in my head about Woody Allen. What was it? I'm trying to remember what I have the punchline. I can't remember what the setup. What was it like? When it. What was that? I was gonna say, wouldn't it be fucked up if like 98-year-old Woody Allen transitioned, and he's like, "Look, everybody, look what I did to myself," and he lifted up his skirt, and everyone in the bar just like, or the nightclub just looks at him and goes, "Yucky," and pinches their nose. It's like, what was the fucking? I had this all out in my head, and I thought it was gonna be hilarious, but I completely forgot what the lead-in was, so I just completely fucked that up. Because that's the only reason why I brought this up, was to bring that point, that joke up, and wow, I'm such a fuck up. Holy shit. Here, I might save this segment with with this. Do you think that when Gene Hackman was dying and wandering around his mansion, he had ants playing on this screen, and they had the ants theme playing while he was wandering around while his wife was rotting, and was playing the. I really just fucked this whole thing up. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I made it to 30 minutes. I completely ruined that segment. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. You know what? All right. I'll move on. Okay. The other meme movie I watched this week was Noobs, directed by Blake Friedman, who has done this, and I think he's done like two other fucking projects. I don't know. Um, I have said many times in the past when watching this kind of slop that this movie feels like a feature length Smosh skit. But let me fucking show you. Like this really is a feature length Smosh skit. Like everything about it. Like, why is this like a still they chose? Here, there's one very Smosh like this. That's a very look at that. That's a very Smosh cinema look right there. But this has like real. I guess this was okay. So if this is basically the same thing as what was that? What was that fucking movie? Not the. I mean, it has a lot of similarities to the Wizard. What was that? Oh, Fanboys. I thought about Fanboys a lot while watching this, and that's probably because Jason Mewes is in it. He's like the second lead to this. And what's this fucking guy's name? John Grease. He's the uncle from Napoleon Dynamite. He's in it, and that's Zelda Williams. So there's like actual. So 3 out of 4 of the people on screen right now are actually in fucking movies and have a name, not this fucking asshole right here. And I guess this got made as a promotion for Gears of War, because I don't Gears of War 3 specifically. I guess I don't know anything about that fucking franchise, so I'm assuming it came out around the same time. Cause I don't know, I'm not a Gears head, but I do not remember that game ever having like a big competitive scene. So I guess maybe this was like their way of trying to fucking make that happen. But it did not fucking work because no one has seen this fucking movie. Oh yeah, Casper Van Dien is in it, and it's a super weird joke where they wanted you to think that it was him. It was gonna be like because like the characters are all epic gamers who never met each other in real life, and so you think they're gonna go to L.A. to meet Casper Van Dien, but it's actually his like stepson, and he's only on screen because he's like dating a 75-year-old woman. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Oh yeah, this is his son, and he almost dies because a fat black stripper nearly crushed him with her ass. And yeah, if you can tell by the very Smosh aesthetic going on here, the humor is very much in line with that. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of fucking Fanboys because, but I didn't really like pay attention to the fact that this was Jason Mewes, and Jason Mewes is only in Fanboys for like 30 seconds, so uh yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, this fucking person right here is not in the movie. I don't know who this is supposed to be, and I don't know why. Why is he dressed like Dylan Klebold? I just realized that he's straight up dressed like fucking Columbine here. What the fuck? Oh yeah, and also this character right here is like the joke is that he's like fruity. And I am not like I have nothing against homophobia, but that was such a weird, unfunny, uncomfortable shit throughout the whole movie. But I don't know who this fucking broad is right here. Oh wait, hold on. What was the tagline? I gotta go back. Regular guys, virtual heroes. But yeah, oh yeah, like the cultural references and the humor is very much of its time, which I guess I don't know, maybe in like 10 years that'll be more charming, but I don't. It just made me want to fucking cut my wrists. I did think that. Oh, what was his name? John Grease. I thought his character was supposed to be Billy Mitchell, because his whole thing was that he plays like console arcade games. I wonder if that like he was supposed to be a parallel to Billy Mitchell, and he even has like the mullet and everything, but not really. That doesn't really go anywhere. Um, I don't know. That's noobs. It's if you're a fan of Smosh before it became woke and soy, real Smosh for real men, you would probably get a kick out of noobs. Okay, all right. I'll save this fucking disaster of an episode by talking about so far the best movie I've seen this year. That is, of course, it's always fucking scrolled down. Sorry, Targets by Peter Bogdanovich. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this. I last time I was at Barnes and Noble, I was that was November, and I used to go to Barnes and Noble all the time during July and November to get Criterion discs on sale, but I've really stopped doing that because they've just been releasing fucking bullshit lately. But I believe they released this lately, and I was considering buying it, and I really should have because this is a great movie. Um, I did know a little bit about it. All I really knew about it was that Boris Karloff was in it, and I pictured it more as a Boris Karloff movie, and it really isn't. Uh, if you don't know, this was fuck. This is why you should do research. Before I was doing research before I started this fucking episode. Hold on, let me see. It was. There's so many darn school shootings. Hold on, what was it? Austin, the tower shooting. Yeah, the 1966 University of Texas shooting. So that's what this character Bobby, he's based off of that. And like his behavior. I don't know who the fucking perpetrator's name is. Let's see. There was a TV movie from 1975 with Kurt Russell in the lead. I actually kind of want to watch that now. Oh, Charles Joseph Whitman. Okay, so this is a fictionalized portrayal of Whitman, and I believe so. The reason, there's Karloff. Karloff is barely in this trailer, so I believe what happened was I did some research on the making of this. That I don't know if the shooting had already started, but this was executive produced by Roger Corman, and Corman owed Boris Karloff. What was it? He owed him 2 days of shooting for a project, and I guess it was like as a favor. So he basically mandated that Bogdanovich use Karloff under the condition that he has 2 days of work and the film is within budget. So I guess I don't know if he was already developing this script, and then he had this obligation to Karloff later, or if that was beforehand. But really what that does is that I like that it makes the movie a lot more interesting, that it's not just about the spree killer. And by the way, like I am generally very fascinated with movies that really cannot be made today. Obviously I'm a big fan of Goodbye Uncle Tom, but really with this, it's not really about the content itself. It's more of there's no way that you would make a film with this subject matter today and present it like this. There's so much time dedicated to the perpetrator that he's on the poster, and if you look at the fucking poster, what is it like? Remarkable, terrifying, and thrilling. There's no fucking way that they made a movie today in 2026 about a spree killer. They would market it like this, and I find that fascinating. They wouldn't spend half the movie very methodically following him, like setting up how it goes into painful fucking detail how he acquires his weapons and how he like sets up his spot to just shoot people on the freeway. And I mean, it's that's why I thought it was great, because like there's no way you could do that today, and I understand why. A part of me really wants more films to tackle the subject of massive violence, because I think it's I think it's very pertinent, but also and fascinating in a morbid way. But I do think, and I do think a lot of filmmakers are very are way too concerned with the notion of social responsibility. But in this case, there is a very real fear that people who are spree killers are very conscious of media, and how people are lionized through media. Like my personal favorite mass shooter, Randy Stair, he was fascinated with Columbine and the how it was represented in media and like their effectively their legacy. So I think there is a very real concern, a substantiated concern that depicting mass violence in a certain way can influence people to perpetuate it. I just think that, but I do think there's a right way to go about it. But so even though I do think this movie is very, very fascinating, I do understand why you wouldn't make a film like it today because of just like because like this was like that shooting in 1966 was pretty unprecedented in American history. And there's a scene not to, I mean obviously he spoilers he goes to a drive-in and he just starts picking off people. And that's like the whole climax of the movie is that shooting, and it takes them the people it takes them forever to figure out what's going on. And that's because like back then, as it probably would have, this is back then they probably have no idea that that was a possibility. So I mean, when I was watching this, I wasn't aware of the University of Texas connection, but I was thinking a lot of Stephen Paddock while watching it. Um, yeah, it's just, and Karloff is great. I haven't seen too much of Karloff. The only I have seen The Body Snatcher, which is a 40s movie. I thought he was really great in that. But he's really, really good in this. This was his last role, famously. And and I do think that like there is a reason why he's in this. Like the drawing the comparison of this of what used to terrify people versus what reality has become, and I thought that was done pretty elegantly. And having a very like having Karloff basically play himself and is very, very classy and mannered, I think really added a lot to the film thematically. And yeah, like also like that freeway sequence was great. I read that they had to they didn't have permits to shoot on like the LA like highway, so that was all done guerrilla style, which I thought was very impressive. I thought the movie that they were using, The Terror, I thought this was actually shot for targets, but it's a real film from 1963. Because I was like, damn, I was really impressed at how authentic it was because it is. Um, so yeah, I would highly recommend Targets, especially if you're okay. I wouldn't say if you're a fan of mass shootings, but if you're a fan of like criminal psychology and true crime, I would definitely recommend it because you're not gonna get anything like quite like it made today. So yeah, next time I have an opportunity to get it on Blu-ray, I'll do that because I would really love to learn more about how it was made. So yeah, I think that's really it. I haven't quite got to 45 minutes. I was hoping to get to 45 minutes, but oh well. Um, I mean, I probably could have edited this and done some more takes, but again, and eventually I want to get to a point where I do this live or I have a co-host who could probably prevent me from imploding like this. So hey, I'm glad I got something done today. Uh hopefully I will not be recording a new episode next weekend because I will be in New York City for my birthday. So hopefully next weekend. I should not be caught up with shooting anything anytime soon. Hopefully. So yeah, I'll keep experimenting with the format, and hopefully I'll have more people giving me more feedback on this. Um, and I promise, I swear I'll get better at this. But yeah, I mean, it's how it is. It's how it is. Okay. I'm gonna play the same. I tried playing the intro song. I'm sorry, the outro song last time. Got completely fucked up. I don't know if that was because of copyright or what, but I'm gonna try it again. So hopefully that goes through. All right, I'll See you later. Bye bye.